In this video, we're going to talk about where emotions get stuck or trapped in our body and a few ways to release the emotions in a healthy way. So sit tight, we'll get right into it right now. Welcome back to another video. I'm Jen Palco. Today we're going to talk about stuck emotions. Trapped emotions. Emotions that become just a part of us and become trapped in a particular area of our body if we don't deal with them correctly. So emotions, I'm going to talk from more of a traditional Chinese medicine, Eastern medicine perspective here rather than Western perspective, because Western perspective, the emotions are mostly tied to the brain. Whereas in Eastern medicine, our emotions are very tied to the internal organs of our body. They're very connected. So the emotions or trapped emotions, stuck emotions in our body can affect how our organ systems are performing and can lead to blockages in the body, which down the line can lead to chronic illness, stuff like that. So stuck emotions in our body usually come from either of two things. The first is physical stress. So that could be anything from trauma, injury, some sort of abuse. It can be like an accident you've had. It can even be an illness. Okay. And then the second thing, it could be from emotional stress, which would be more tied to past situations, fear, anxiety, depression, feeling unworthy of yourself, all that kind of thing, okay? So usually trapped emotions come from either physical stress or emotional stress. So what happens if we don't release emotions over time in our body? Well, it's almost like if you can picture a stream of water. You picture a stream of water, and the trapped emotion or the stuck emotion is almost like this big rock in the middle of the stream. So it's impeding the flow of the stream of the water, of your body's natural energy flow, okay, of the circulation, of the chi, the energy, whatever you want to call it. And if you have multiple rocks in the stream, some bigger than others, then it's going to keep impeding the flow of energy throughout your body. Okay, so realize that, if you don't deal with a particular emotion, over time, this rock is going to collect sediment along the way, and it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's going to keep impeding the flow of circulation and energy throughout your body. It's going to keep impeding the flow of water in the stream. And what happens is either eventually the rock will get so big that it completely blocks off the whole stream, and it will completely disrupt the flow of circulation throughout your body, the flow of how everything works in your body. So what happens, you start developing chronic issues. So where do emotions actually show up in the body? Well, you could have, stress and tension show up in the neck and shoulders. I'm sure you guys have all experienced that. You can have anxiety show up in the chest usually. You could have something like fear and worry show up in the stomach, as feeling like kind of queasy kind of thing. You could have grief show up again in like this chest area, very shallow breathing, sometimes again in the stomach area. So emotions can get trapped in all sorts of ways, and emotions have a tendency to get trapped in the joints of our body. So if we don't deal with them over time, something like fear or worry can actually turn into chronic knee pain or low back pain or something like that. So it's interesting when you connect the two together, and it makes you think, because the less you deal with your emotions, the more it's just going to keep impeding the flow of your body functioning correctly. All right, and it can lead to issues down the line. So in order to create smooth movement of energy throughout the body, you need to either loosen the rock and have it break apart over time, or you need to loosen the rock and gently guide it along the stream. Okay, guide it along the stream. Realize that if you leave it just sitting there over time, it's just going to fester inside of you and create more issues for yourself. How do you loosen that rock? How do you release these emotions in a healthy way without hurting anybody? I'll give you an example. Actually, this morning, this is a really good example. I decided to, I haven't worked out like regularly in a little while other than playing hockey on the weekends. Like I haven't been doing any kind of cardio. I feel like I just haven't been feeling great because I haven't been moving enough. And this morning I decided to jump rope, just something I used to love to do. So I forced myself to do it. And afterwards, I got so emotional. I got so emotional after the workout was done, after like 25 minutes of jumping rope. And I started crying, actually, like very, very emotional stuff. And I knew that was something inside of me that needed to be released. It was an emotion that needed to be released. And I thought back to this week, actually, a patient of mine revealed to me she just lost her mother. And in a sense, I think I picked up a little of her grief that she was feeling. Okay, and I transferred this over to my own grief. I've lost both my grandparents over the past year, and it brought out all these emotions that were deep inside. For me, it was sadness, okay, and it needed to be released. So realize that emotions can be released at sometimes inopportune time. I wouldn't say it wasn't a good time because it was fine. I was at home, but emotions will come out, okay, at certain times. So actually the first healthy way to release an emotion is through movement, okay? So whether it's exercise, whether it's just taking a walk, whether it's dancing, any sort of movement is going to release stagnation in your body. So if you don't move, those emotions don't move, okay? So nothing is circulating, nothing is getting out of you. So me exercising this morning, that released something in me that I may have picked up off of somebody else, but I was actually relating it to something in my own life that needed to get out. It needed to get out, and it felt better afterwards to get it out, to vent. So movement, number one. Number two is music. Music can be so powerful for getting stuck emotions out. While I was jumping rope, I was listening to I like to listen to electronic dance music. And for me, it's very moving music, okay? It feels like it has a particular beat and rhythm to it. And some songs are more uplifting, or some just get stuff moving in your body. So I wouldn't necessarily listen to classical music or meditative music while I'm working out. So realize that music and sound can be very, very powerful, whether it is music or whether it is some sort of sound therapy or white noise for yourself. Whatever breaks that rock loose inside your body will help release those emotions. So another thing I wanted to mention is, just as our bodies flush out toxins through our sweat and our tears and our urine and our skin, actually, we need to actually flush out toxic emotions from inside of ourselves, or just emotions that are stuck in there. Because if we don't flush them out, we're going to get toxic buildup inside, just like with anything. So the third healthy way to help release your emotions would be verbal expression. Now, this can be anything from singing to making a video, which I like to do, to chanting, to shouting at nobody in particular. Don't shout at other people because that can lead to issues. But verbally expressing yourself, getting it out of yourself. Sometimes it's not enough to just write it down. I mean, that's another technique that you can try. You can try writing. You could try, other forms of journaling. But when you verbally express it, what that does, it actually expels more energy out of you, okay? It expels more energy out of you, and that can be sometimes what you need to release those emotions, okay? So verbal expression is huge. If you'd like another technique to help release your emotions, meditation is another great one. I actually have a free guided meditation. I'll put the link below to a guided meditation that will help you release stuck energy in your body. Most likely anxiety, it could be grief, it could be depression, just anything inside of you that needs to get out. Okay, because we fester a lot. So if you want to check out that free meditation, link below. Other than that, I hope this was helpful for you. Let me know in the comments section. I'd love to hear from you. Other than that, I hope you all have a great day and peace.